So you have to understand how to achieve peace of mind through the proper structure. I am exposed because I have the real estate fund. I have my own assets. I do trainings. I bring people to my assets. They walk up and down 100 million portfolio. They see I have streets where we own mixed-use commercial real estate in Old San Juan. We're in California, in Presidio Heights and Pacific Heights. We have a lot of expensive properties. So we learned how to do it, and I'm going to share it with you right now in details. Listen carefully. You don't want to show any equity. Here is my home, but there is no equity. There is a loan to the bank, and there is another loan owed to somebody else. So here's how we do it. We figure out how much equity we have in all the properties. So I want you to think of your property, maybe write them down right now. Here are my properties and how much equity you have in total. Let's say you have, I don't know, $1 million in equity. We're gonna set up one Wyoming LLC. We write an operating agreement with 13 business reasons, not just asset protection, but 13 business reasons, such as to consolidate family money, to pass on the wealth to the next generation, to be able to account for all income and expenses coming from all our assets, etc. We do that, we handle all that for you. Number three, you want to, now when you set up the Wyoming LLC, you have no cash to capitalize it. You don't want to use cash to capitalize. What do we use? We use promissory note. I promise to capitalize it later. And how much am I going to capitalize it for? For the actual amount of equity that I have. So we use the equity in the assets and pledge it to capitalize or to fund the LLC. Like, you know, when you set up an LLC, you have to put some money in it to open the bank account, etc. Well, we're going to put $1 million promissory note. It's all spelled out in the operating agreement. It's very specific for each individual we deal with. So we draft a promissory note for each asset based on the legal requirements of each county and state. You have a property in California, we'll take care of that lien in a certain way. We have one in Wisconsin, one in Florida. Some are non-judicial states, some are judicial states. We handle all that for you. You don't have to worry about that part. Each promissory note is to actually strip the equity, to remove the equity that exists. So instead of having an equity of $500,000, you now have in promissory note, a lien gets recorded for $500,000 to the benefit of the Wyoming LLC. The Wyoming LLC is not loaning you the money. You're owing it the money to capitalize it. That is actually a very important structure difference that you need to understand. So we get a lien recorded against each asset to show that it is encumbered slightly higher than its value. So if you have $500,000, we'll put, let's say 550, just a little bit 10% higher than the actual equity you have in there. Why? To make sure nobody will have any interest in pursuing a lawsuit against your equity, because there will be no equity to go after. If you have a business, we record a UCC 1 lien. That's called the Uniform Commercial Code 1 lien. It's recorded in that county. It protects your inventory. If you have equipment, a friend of my wife has a very nice factory in San Jose, California, and she wanted to protect it because the actual machine itself was over $1 million. So we actually put the Uniform Commercial Code 1 lien against the business, and we specifically put the serial number of that equipment. Somebody want to sue her, any employee want to go after her, they want to sue her because there is net worth. Well, guess what? I owe to the bank so much, and I owe to Wyoming LLC so much. And everything is set up properly. Wyoming LLC will be set up with a tax ID, it flows through to you. It's extremely legal, extremely powerful. We have hundreds of students have been set up like this for many, many years, over 8 years. We've never had an issue, never had a problem. It's proven to work nationwide. So I'll repeat, figure out how much equity you have in your property. We set up one Wyoming LLC. I'll tell you why Wyoming in a second. I can hear you think, oh, Wyoming, why Wyoming? Why not Nevada? Why not Delaware? I'll tell you, Wyoming is by far the best, and I'll explain in a minute. So you set up the Wyoming LLC, and the way to put money in it is by actually saying, I'm gonna put $500,000 from this property, promissory note, lien recorded here, 200,000 here, 100,000 here. We do all the paperwork. We send it to you by email. You literally print, sign, notarize, and send it to the county. You're in full control.
Jump into commercial real estate and begin your investment journey with Cherif Medawar. Apply for CRE Mastermind. Click the link in description.